Well, hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Well, 984, and I don't know why, but my phone's glitching out, of what you have to now. Documenting the journey as I originally transitioned from the brick and mortar corporate world of business, decades in both, to the online world of business. Following my divorce, it was like, all right, I want to do something. I want to do something totally different. And I had always been curious about the internet, so I thought, okay, I'm going to figure out this online marketing, internet, online business kind of thing. And so that's what I set out to do in 2017, and by 2018 people had convinced me that yes, I should do live video and I should talk and share some of the things that I was learning, some of the lessons I was learning, some of the nightmare projects I got myself into that led me down incorrect paths and got me thinking in ways that I really don't recall ever thinking in the offline world, but maybe I did. So today and every day I create a couple of pieces of content. One is for my Supersize Your Business group, and I share an idiom or an expression that is a group of words put together that means something different than the words individually taken. And today's is virtue is its own reward. Now, virtue is its own reward has a long and very interesting history. It goes back to Stoicism, Socrates, and his wisdom cube of fortitude, modesty, justice, and prudence. He believed wisdom was the overarching theme and most important thing when it came to life and living a life well, etc. Morally, basically this idiom means you do what's right, morally and ethically, and don't expect a reward for doing that. But I contend we always get a reward because what we put out into the world is what comes back to us. And so we tied that into our business and growing and supersizing our business. And I still say, if you put good out, you get good back. That means if you put value out, you get value back. And money is an exchange of value. So if you put good out into the world, guess what? Money comes back to you and your business. And you make the world a better place because you're doing the right thing and sharing things in a way that makes the world a better place, right? And I talked a little bit about, returning people's money if they're not satisfied with your products or services, just as an aside, because that's one thing that comes up a lot where companies have rules and regulations and guidelines and procedures that you have to follow in order to get your money back. They send you the wrong thing. Has Amazon ever sent you the wrong thing? Yes, of course they do. You return it and you get your money back. I think Amazon is one of the companies, and that's an example I didn't give, but I'm thinking of it now, that does a good job with customer service. And I've never had a problem with Amazon that I recall, and I've been dealing with them, as long as Amazon's been around. So virtue is its own reward. And we talked about, do you believe that? Do you not? Do you do what's right? We don't all always do what's right, but we sure ought to be trying our best at every occasion, every situation. The second piece of content I'm creating is this year's annual challenge. I've been doing an annual challenge since 2018. And, I've been doing annual challenges for pretty much my whole life, at least my adult life. And I started sharing them in 2018. I think I did 3 that year. I was involved with a group that was doing live video, which is what got me doing it. Then we did the do one thing every day that scares you annual challenge to stretch our comfort zones. And I did every day I shared what I was working on, my journey. I started this segment of documenting my journey every day, what was working, what wasn't. And some of those early months, they're rough, but boy, they're also real in terms of stuff I was looking into and trying and roads I was going down that led to nowhere and no results, right? A lot of learning, a lot of growing, a lot of following other people and realizing, I remember when I realized that we can follow tons of other people and we can see what they do, but if we're just following them and not implementing the things that they do, and everybody's journey is different, right? Part of why I share my journey is my journey is different than everybody else's, as yours will be. I can share and you can learn lessons from me to shortcut your process, but you're still going to go through your own journey to get what it is you want out of your life. Today, this is the final day of our financial emphasis and financial goal discussion for this year's Get Your Goals Annual Challenge. We're focusing on goals this year. Thank you, Chad Hanna, for suggesting that as our annual challenge focus. I asked people, what do you want to do this year? What do we want to focus on? And goals came up, and Chad said, hey, do a goals annual challenge. So I like to use the life framework that I use to kind of take the chaos that is most of our lives and add a frame around it and sort things out and separate them in order to make it a little bit more manageable. Because there's a lot of things in our life that are outside of our control, right? But we can control how we respond to all of them. And part of that for me is putting a framework around things like the annual challenge, and picking and choosing, what am I going to work on? What am I going to focus on? What am I going to emphasize? So this month we did financial. Next month we're going to hop into relationships. So starting tomorrow, we're going to hop into the relationship area of the life framework that I use. I use a 9-part life framework. It was 7 until the pandemic in 2021, when, like everybody else, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? I need to do something else. So I actually got involved with a coaching group and a coaching program about core skills, and some of those are the ones that I already cover, but they also emphasize and added communication and confidence, which are core foundational skills for all of us in every area and aspect of our life. So it became really, really easy to add those to my life framework. And my part of my life framework, the reason I have it is so that I set goals in each of those areas and aspects of my life, because I found out what happens if not. I don't believe in balance. I think balance is BS and nonsense personally, because life has so many different things coming at us all the time. To think you're going to be balanced in all areas and aspects of your life. I know there are people that are like that. Don't think it's inherent in my personal energy level and nature, but more power to them. And I aspire to be more balanced in certain things. But I learned the lesson of what happens when you totally ignore the physical area and aspect of your life, the emotional area, the spiritual area, the mental area of your aspect in life. What happens when you're not paying attention and taking care of yourself? Boom! Guess what? The world gets your attention. Mine came in the form of a sudden cardiac arrest. So today we are talking about step 7 of a goal setting process that we came up with in January for this year's challenge. And step 7 is rewards and celebration. Thus, virtue is its own reward. And we talked about, I like to set up rewards for the milestones as I achieve them, as I'm moving toward achieving my big goal for the year. And then I also like to have, at the end of the year, a big celebration. And a big celebration to me might not be a big celebration to you. You might be like, okay, that's just a Tuesday. But it's what feels right to me. It's what feels right to you. That's the whole purpose of pretty much everything I do. Figure out what works for you and do more of that. Figure out what doesn't work for you and stop doing that. I know, life can be super simple if we want it to. All right, questions, hit me up. Huge family day today, lots of projects going on. If I can help you in any way, it's a granddaughter day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.